Alright, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the Ocarina of Time Randomizer. We're starting on the pause screen for some reason, because that was where my save state was. But we are going to pick up where we left off last time, and that is with a new power that we have that I'm really excited about. First order of business, and perhaps the only order of business depending on how this goes. We have the gold gauntlets now, which means, among other things, we can finish up a lot of stuff in and around Ganon's castle. There is one other thing that I'll want to do if we have to leave here again. Now, the reason that I'm kind of hanging around here a lot right now is because we're starting to run a little bit low on locations that Din's Fire and the boss key could be. We're definitely not out of them, by the way. Immense power here. This is what the gold gauntlets allow us to do. Edgar has certainly not been skipping leg or arm day recently. I don't know if arm day is a thing, I just made that up. I don't work out as much as I should, so I don't know the terminology. Anyway, Fairy Fountain. But yeah, so now we can get into every other chest in Ganon's castle, and I believe we should... That's a red rupee, okay. We should be able to finish up getting all of the chests. The only thing that we can't do for sure is we can't for sure get the boss key, because to do that, or the boss key chest, because to get that we would need Din's Fire, or I would just need to be absurdly quick with fire arrows, and that's doable, I think, but not likely. But there are at least 8 chests, I think, we can get in here, because we have both of the small keys. Hopefully I don't need any bombs, because we still don't have any of those. But this is another one of those things that I'm at the point that, in all likelihood, the bomb bag is going to be in this room right here. Like, one of them will be, because the way these work is that there's technically 3 bomb bags in the game, and you always get the smallest one first, but you don't always have to find them in the same order. So it's just progressive bomb bag upgrade, rather than this one's the 10, this one's the 20, and this one's the 30. So with that in mind, there are 7 chests in this room, and 1 more in the next room that we can get. So let's see what all we find in here. A huge rupee. That's not helpful. A red rupee. That's not helpful. A small key for the fire temple. That's a little bit helpful.
A key.
There's Din's Fire. We're now 1 thing away from beating the game. That scared the shit out of me. Okay. The Ganon's Castle boss key. This is the final episode. Alright. And then another fire temple key. Yeah, so this will... I hate to spoil things on Twitter or anything like that, but I will probably tweet something out as of recording this that the end has been reached. I'll admit I'm kind of surprised we found both of those in that room, especially considering some of the things we don't have. Okay, really? 2 of those? Scared the shit out of me again. But maybe... Oh wait, actually, will this be the final episode? Because we still have to finish the trials. I don't know, maybe I spoke too soon. I think it is. I think we have everything we need, because we just need the gold gauntlets to beat the fire trial. Ow. We just needed the gold gauntlets to beat the fire trial. We needed Din's Fire to beat the forest trial. We needed... let's see. God, this means there's 2 dungeons that we're not even going to enter at any point, though, huh? That's kind of neat. This is a nice little haha gotcha moment here with the invisible wall. Or rather, with the visible not wall. This is the 4th trial completed. So what I might do for this, and I'll have to talk to a couple people before I make this decision final, but what I might do, I will officially be uploading this as the final episode, but what I may do is after my final exams are over, which by the time this video goes up, they'll either be already over or they'll be really close to over. Because I'm recording this on Monday. Let's see, today, episode 19 of this series went up. So that means Fire Emblem 19 is tomorrow, so that's Tuesday. Episode 20 of Ocarina is Wednesday. Yeah, so assuming I'm able to stick to 1 episode a day of everything, this will be going up on Friday. That means there'll be about a week before I have a couple people around. But what I might do is I might have somebody on, just because it would be a bit of a lengthy process, is I'll have one of my friends come on here with me and I'll just do like a YouTube live stream or something with, that was dumb. And I'll take that live stream and I'll go around and collect all of the items from the other dungeons, assuming of course that we can reach all of them. We'll see how that goes for sure, because it depends on a lot, but I'm gonna remain like non-committal on that, but that's what I'm thinking right now, is that we will do a like a final stream where I just go around and collect everything that I don't already have. And that does include, hopefully, all of the Water Temple and all of the Shadow Temple, which is why this might be a bit of a lengthy stream if I do that. But, yeah, so I'm going to stop talking about it now because there's other things at hand first, like finishing up with this episode, which is apparently going to be really hard. Because there I go again, almost. So we need to gather all of these silver rupees, and we have to do it without falling into the lava below, which is, like I said, evidently that's really hard, even though it shouldn't be. I will admit, though, I'm glad I chose to come and do this first, because I could have wasted a lot of time going around and picking up other things that we just wouldn't have ended up needing. I will admit there are a couple things that might have been nice to have, but I wouldn't have needed anything else. Like, double defense is still out there somewhere, which would have been nice to have, but it's not necessary. Now there's one more silver rupee back this way. And now once you collect all of these, if you fall into the lava, you're good. I'd still rather not if I can help it, but it's not a big deal if we do. Need to wait for that to come back up. Yeah, that's okay. A little bit annoying, but not a big deal. Because now all we have to do is run across here and then clear the trial. This should be 5. And that leaves us with just the forest trial to complete. For which we need Din's Fire and Fire Arrows equipped. And now where is it? I think it's straight across from me, so I'm gonna go this way. We have full Deku Nuts, which means the final boss fight should be relatively easy. We have the Big Goron Sword if we need it, but that's actually the one situation that it's not hugely helpful. So I'm gonna shoot that torch first because I'm terrible at aiming, evidently. So there's that, and now we can use Din's Fire. By the way, this is what Din's Fire does if you haven't seen it before. So now we can get through here. There is another Silver Rupee room, which I am not excited about. So there's one. You're gonna be tough to navigate around because I can't kill you. It's 3. That's 4. Now that one that's floating to the right over there should be the last one. Can hop down to this switch. Ow. Now I believe we can just hook shot up here, and that's the last one, so now if we get blown off, we're fine. Stop targeting the BMOS, please. Let's do a last little bit of parkour here. Here is our final trial completion. So there's that done. There is one more final gauntlet to go through. There is one more chest that we're going to grab just because it's on the way. I have no idea what it may or may not be. I'm hoping for double defense, but I'm not sure what to expect, because it could quite literally be anything. I am going to go ahead and get set up here for the last fight. One thing that I don't normally do, but I'm going to go ahead and do now just because I've dicked around and I have low health, is I'm going to look for... there's a room in here. It's not exactly a fairy fountain, but it functions kind of like one. So I want to find where in here that is, and I want to actually get a fairy in a bottle just in case. That should be it right there. I guess I could just pick one up for health purposes too. So now we should be good to go. We can get into the center of the castle now. We can make the final climb. And then we can face the man. So I'm not going to worry about my magic. And here's why. If I do this right, we should only need light arrows for the first half of this fight. And if I end up only needing them for the first half, then I have confidence that I should have enough magic as it stands right now. Before we get up there, we have a little bit of another mini-boss, or a boss rush mode. Not quite like we had a couple episodes back, but of the similar style. Okay, I'm terrible at fighting today. So there's that. There's the Lizalfos. Continue climbing. Sorry, I thought I heard something behind me, which is kind of funny because I'm almost sure it was just something in the game. But, so here's the last chest that we're going to get in this run of this game. At least in the main story, if you will. Since anything else that we do will be on a post-series live stream. What is our last item? A piece of heart. Could have been better. Could have been way worse. Like I said, I'm confident as is with what we have. So, we now have a pair of iron knuckles. If I really wanted to look cool, I'd fight them both at the same time, but that would be less than smart, especially considering that one just roasted me. There's one. Ow. Okay, I don't want to use the fairy before I get to the boss. That would be bad. One more hit on this guy, and he'll drop some hearts for us. And then we can head up the last flight of stairs. The anticipation is building. And here we go. Let's use our boss key. Now there is... I'm actually going to just grab it while we're here. There's some hearts and some magic down here, as well as some arrows. You can never have too much of it going into this room, but as long as we're full on both health, magic, and arrows, I said both and then listed 3 things. As long as we're full on all 3 of those, this should absolutely not be a problem. And I mean, if something goes wrong and we have to jump back down there, we can. I want to do something that may or may not look cool. I'm only going to try it once, and that is because it is not something that I practice. Well, I'll talk about it after we go through this one bit of dialogue that we get, and I think it's modified, which is funny. After what you did to Koholin Island, how can you call me the bad guy? Since you made it this far, I'll let you know what glorious prize of Ganon's you most likely missed out on in this tower. Behold, a broken heart. Oh, okay, so that's what he talks about. That's what they did. They changed his dialogue there. I didn't catch this. I've beaten one of these randomizers on this update before. But what I didn't catch out on is if you don't open the boss key chest, he actually just tells you right there what was in it. And the only reason I caught that is because I did open it this time and I know what was in it. Fair enough. I opened it the last randomizer I beat too, but I didn't notice I didn't notice that was what he was saying. Just because I don't remember what it was. It wasn't something that was even remotely important. But yeah, so what I'm going to try to do, and I'm only going to try this once, but I'm going to try to play tennis with a bottle. Nice. Then we have to shoot him with the light arrow. And we got him in 1 round! Let's go! Let's go! I never do that! Granted, in speedruns, I never have the Big Goron Sword, because that's a long-ass trading quest that I ignore in speedruns, but I don't care! That was so cool!
Oh, that's so cool!
I just peaked the mic like 3 times, I think, so I'll put together... I'll put, like, an ear warning if I need to. Collapse sequence! I just did it again, I'm sorry. I'm pumped, though. But yeah, if I need to, I'll put a headphone user warning here. So now all we gotta do to beat the game is we have to make it to the bottom of the castle in 3 minutes or less. And then it's final boss time. So I'll use this time, instead of talking about what's going on, I want to just say I haven't had a lot of people, and now this is because this will end up being the first series on YouTube that I actually complete as a YouTuber. And by complete, I mean like I've gone from episode 1 to the finale, and I actually like finished the series. So I've only had a couple people that have been along with me as I've been uploading these videos. So I almost fully expect that most people, if you're watching this, you're probably watching this probably a while after it's come out. But whether that be the case, or if you are one of the couple people that have followed me through on this journey as I've done it, regardless of when you're watching, I appreciate you following through this series. If you're coming through at the end here, especially since this is only going to end up being, I think, 21 episodes, unless something goes really wrong here and I have to split this one in half, it would mean a lot if you haven't already, if you could go back and watch this series through from the beginning. I'd like to think that, you know, my commentary and my editing and stuff, even from episode 1 of this series, it's definitely still not good, but I think it's come a long way. I know I still have a lot to learn. Like I said, this is the first series that I've actually completed, so I know nothing I've done commentary or editing wise has been perfect or really even all that great. But as much fun as I've had with this series specifically, and I know I've made some strides with it. Just like I said, if you haven't been following the series, or if you haven't watched it all the way through, it would mean a lot to me if you could, you know, suffer through the first few episodes where I'm still learning what I'm doing. And just, yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse and say the same things 9 times, but yeah. Wherever or whenever you're watching the series means a lot. Means a lot to me. I didn't think I was going to have to start thinking about what my next series is this soon for anybody that is watching this close to when it comes out. I have an idea in mind, but I actually don't have the means to do it yet. So I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to try to get to this dude before he could jump on me. And I failed not once but twice. But yeah, I have an idea, but it'll come down to when I can get the materials for it. That's part of why I threw around the idea of doing a live stream where I finish up like the loose ends of this series. Just kind of all in one sitting, just to give me a couple things to plan out and work on between now and when I might get the stuff I need for the next series, cutscene skip. But enough about that. I'll talk about that more either at the end of this episode or in a separate video at a later date. For now, we investigate the ruins, and now there's fire. And he just went Super Saiyan. So we both have untold power, and I think okay, I'm sorry. I think I might have just peaked the mic again. But I have a bad habit of not talking loud enough, so I've actually turned up the sensitivity of the mic recently. And now I'm getting all amped up because it's the end of the series and the game is actually kind of loud in my headphones, so I'm talking louder than I mean to. Hopefully it's not coming across as badly as the mic readings are on my desktop in front of me. I like how Navi's just like, I'm supposed to say something here, but I'm not going to. Now this is something that's a lot less risky than what I was doing before. I don't know why I'm equipping the long shot, but it just feels weird to have a bottle there at the end of the game. This is something that I do in speedruns on a regular basis. Deku Nuts do not damage any enemy in the game, except, for some reason, they damage the final form of Ganon. Now, since I have the Big Goron Sword in this playthrough, I could just use that. But killing the final boss with the weapon that doesn't do damage to anything other than him just has that perfect ring of insult to it that I can't pass it up. He takes 10 nuts before he dies. That's 6. That's 7. I want to make sure I keep an eye on where the Master Sword is, because you can actually get him to get back up and come fight you again if you're not careful. If you don't get to it fast enough. It's really hard to not get to it fast enough once you knock him down the first time, but I've had it happen to me before. So there's 10 nuts. He goes down on the ground. The fire goes away for a second because his power is weakened. Edgar, the Master Sword is here. Hurry up. Yep, and there it is. I did a good job keeping my eyes on it. So we pick this up. And I do want to make one more quick, probably pointless change. It only feels right to wear our starting lavender when we finish this up for good. And because of where we knocked him down, we can get to his tail before he can get up. Let's finish this up. Okay, that did not go like I wanted it to. I was not quick enough there. Shit! You know what, let's show off how you're supposed to do this real quick, just for safety's sake. So this is what you're supposed to use the light arrows for. It's funny because the way this game ends up being done, you actually only need them in the tower itself, and for the first phase. That's how you're intended to do the second phase. With the first time around, you're supposed to shoot him with the light arrows and then run around behind him with both. Technically, I think you can use Deku Nuts on the second phase as well, but it's a lot more satisfying to use the Master Sword now that you actually have it back. And now the Master Sword goes Super Saiyan, and what say you we finish this game? Good series. So this is something, I'm probably not going to do another series of this on YouTube, but something that I've thought about. And I'm just going to let the closing cutscene play in the background for those of you who haven't seen it before. But what I'm thinking about doing, I'm not going to do another full Let's Play of a randomizer, but what I might do, it'll depend on a lot. But what I might do is do like the occasional weekend stream where I take like 5 or 6 hours and just stream another randomizer seed and just not quite as a speed run, because I'm iffy enough with actual speedruns of just the glitchless format, which, by the way, I haven't mentioned this, but when I do speedruns, I do glitchless, so, because I don't know how to glitch games, and I don't care to learn all the tricks. I'm not an any % wizard. But yeah, I might do some of those on occasion. I might do, like, it's a randomizer as its own seed every now and again. But in all likelihood, I'm not going to do another series like this, of this game. My thought process is, I've played through Pokemon Shield once. I got it a couple weeks ago. And what I've thought about doing, we'll see, is doing that for my next YouTube series. The issue is I need a capture card for that. And I have a plan in place to try to get one, but that plan is see if somebody will get it for me in my family as a Christmas gift. And I'm recording this final episode on December 2nd, which means that that would be at least 3 weeks away. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but that is the thought process. As for the resolution of this game, thank you, Edgar. Thanks to you, Ganondorf has been sealed inside the evil realm. Thus, peace will once again reign in this world, for a time. Ha 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 ha! Ocarina of Time! I get it! Ha! All the tragedy that has befallen Hyrule was my doing. I was so young, I could not comprehend the consequences of trying to control the sacred realm. I dragged you into it too. Now it is time for me to make up for my mistakes. What's funny is I don't think we ever ended up actually meeting her as a child. You must lay the Master Sword to rest and close the door of time. We also never got the Ocarina of Time. However, by doing this, the road between times will be closed. You're gonna be a kid forever. Edgar, give the Ocarina to me. Well, I mean, I have this brown one that Saria gave me a while back. As a sage, I can return you to your original time with it. This would be, okay, can I just say, it would be genius, and I know they haven't programmed this for obvious reasons, but it would be genius if you could hand her the Fairy Ocarina right here, instead of the Ocarina of Time, if that's the only one you've gotten. Like, I don't... Programming people, if that's something you can do, that would be legendary. When peace returns to Hyrule, it will be time for us to say goodbye. How does going back in time prevent this, by the way? Because I just killed him at age 17, but if I go back to age 10, doesn't he just come back and do all this again? Plot holes be what they may. Now, go home, Edgar. Regain your lost time. Home, where you're supposed to be. Where you are supposed to be. I can't speak. That carried over from the Fire Emblem series. I can't speak English. The way you were supposed to be. Sure. Thank you, Edgar. Goodbye. And that's everything. So we have officially completed the Ocarina of Time Randomizer. Now that I've proven, I don't know if I've talked about this in a previous video or not, but now that I've actually finished a series for the first time on this channel, I feel a bit more comfortable in trying to sorry about that. 1 second. I had to check something on my phone. Oh, actually, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna cut this out, editing me. Okay, that was like 1 out of 10 recording preparedness, but let's see, where was I? Now that I've I think this is where I was. Now that I have actually completed a series on YouTube, I'm willing to put a bit more investment into just social media in general, trying to gain followers, that kind of thing. The reason I didn't do that a whole lot, outside of like advertising the social media on the channel and the end card of these videos, is that I didn't want to get a bunch of people to try to watch this series or these series only if we were going to find out, you know, a month in that I wasn't going to be able to do it. And it's something that I enjoy doing. It was just it wasn't a matter of would I like doing it. It was a matter of could I keep doing it. And I think now that I finished my first series, I'm going to take a little bit of a step back for a couple days, maybe a little bit longer, depending on, like I said, when I get the capture card that I'm trying to get. But once I get that, I do plan on starting up another series, and I want to be a bit more, I don't quite want to say vocal, but just a bit more outgoing and trying to get attract some attention. So, like I was saying earlier, if you are watching this either as I'm putting it out or maybe later on down the road, if you like what you see and you know other people that like this kind of content, it'd mean a lot if I could just get the word spread. I'm not very good at doing that myself, and I know that, but I plan on trying to figure it out some, as well as, you know, trying to make some steps here and there just to see what I can do to try to grow the channel a little bit. Don't let my subscriber count fool you if you're somewhat new here. I had a video go viral about 5 years ago that I've since archived it, so it's still on the channel, but I don't have it where just anybody can see it because, quite honestly, it was kind of controversial. I don't understand why people had a problem with it, but other people had some problems with it. More power to you, I guess, whatever. But I didn't feel like having a bunch of comments in this series that were carryover from people watching that video and saying, "Oh, you're such a dick," and I didn't want to deal with that. I dealt with that enough when that video first went out. Regardless, I did gain some subscribers from that video going viral. So my subscriber count is actually, I don't know if it's translated to where you guys can see it, but it's actually steadily dropped since I started uploading gaming stuff on a regular basis, because people are seeing like one of two things. One, oh, this is that dude with the dog, but he's not uploading the dog, so I'm not interested. Or it's people who subscribed from that and then are like, wait, who's this guy? Why am I subscribed to him? And then they're on something. Either way, I get it. I'm not like calling those people out. That's what you should do if you don't know why you're subscribed to this channel, then just unsubscribe. Makes sense. But the point of that little escapade of words was, don't let it fool you that I have almost 2,000 subscribers. Yes, I do, but like 6 of them right now I think are watching my videos regularly, and that might even be a little bit of a stretch. So I'm not trying to say I need the subs and views, but basically I need the subs and views if I'm gonna keep this going long term. And it's something I'd like to do. It's just, if I have 4 subscribers, there's no huge gain from it, right? But that's where we're at now. So we finished one series. I'm going to be a bit more serious in trying to extend my outreach some. I'm not going to go like overboard with it and try to like just jam it down everybody's throat, because that isn't right. But that's kind of where we're at now. So I don't want to talk too much more about it in this video. I'll make another video in the next few days talking about what I plan on doing from here, but that's a rough outline of it. With that said, though, I don't know why the screen went black. There's supposed to be a the end screen that never popped up, which is kind of weird, but whatever, I guess. I'd have to reset the game anyway, so it's not like I'm losing progress here, I don't think. But yeah, with that said, thanks everybody for watching the series. It's been a pleasure to get through one. I've had a lot of fun with it, even though it hasn't always seemed like it. I know I'm still getting into the groove of how to talk on a video and all that. I'm slowly making my way forward, and I look forward to starting another series soon. If you're interested in RPG-style games, the Fire Emblem series will still be going on probably every other day. It might even become an everyday thing for a little while for the next little bit. But yeah, the Ocarina of Time series, at least in video form as opposed to live stream form, is over here. Looking at the tracker is kind of funny with some of the things that we didn't end up getting at all. Like, we never got bombs, and those are supposed to be one of the most important items. We never got iron boots, which is supposed to be one of the most important items. But that's how these randomizers are sometimes, and I wasn't necessarily itching to get this done as fast as I could, but I was going to pounce on the opportunity once I got it. And once I got that today with Din's Fire and the boss key, it was time to get it done, I thought. But yeah, we'll talk more about it in upcoming videos. For now, thanks everybody for sticking around for this series, and hope to see you next time.